Former NHL player and now NBC sports analyst Patrick Sharp joins us to talk about the current hockey situation in the NHL, along with how your town can possibly be named the next Kraft Hockeyville USA. Welcome to the show, Patrick. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much for having me.
So we're getting, we love talking about this each year. I was telling you before we started, we talked to JR, I think 2 years now. Let's talk about this event. Why did you want to get involved and help a town get this, this now coveted title?
Well, this is the 6th year that Kraft's put this contest together. I'm happy to be involved this year, and basically what it is you head over to the website krafthockeyville.com, and what we're looking for is the most spirited and passionate hockey communities in all the USA. The NHL, the NHL Players Association, and Kraft have gotten together, and the winner of this contest is going to get $150,000 in rink upgrades, $10,000 in equipment for the young boys and girls that play at the rink, and a chance to host an NHL preseason game next year. Last year in Upper Peninsula, Michigan, it was the Detroit Red Wings versus defending Stanley Cup champions St. Louis Blues. NBC goes and does the game. I'll be there hosting. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to see who wins the contest.
Okay, now it seems like a lot of towns from up north have won. I'm going to date myself here, but I actually used to cover the Atlanta Thrashers. I covered the NHL for a few years, and they always said, oh, no hockey can survive in the South. Well, I live in Tampa now, and we have proved them wrong. These fans, our youth hockey program down here is unbelievable. What's it going to take for a southern city to be able to be named Hockey Town?
Hey, you tell me. Nominate the city, nominate the community. I would love to come down to Florida and cover an NHL preseason game, check out the local community. You said it, the South is awesome right now for hockey. We got one of the best players in all the National Hockey League, Austin Matthews. Kid grew up in Scottsdale, Arizona. We got players from the state of Texas. It's not just those northern cities and northern states that are putting NHLers into the league. It's coming from everywhere. So Tampa Bay, they got a great pro team. They've got a nice youth development league going on right now. So I would love to head down to Tampa Bay and cover a game.
That's what we think. I was surprised when I moved down here. I could not believe, especially the youth down here. I mean, people love their hockey here in Florida. With that said, of course, we're loving on the Bolts a little bit. Let's talk about who are you liking this season?
I like Tampa. I think they have a lot to prove after what happened last season. I mean, they can still play the game. I don't care that the regular season numbers don't look like they did last year. I think this is a team that has a chip on their shoulder that's going to prove a lot of people wrong come playoff time. In the Eastern Conference, Washington Capitals look like they're going to be tough to beat. Of course, Boston always puts up a fight. Over in the West, there's a lot of teams. It's a little more wide open. Colorado, Vegas, Dallas. You know, St. Louis won the Cup last year. Are they going to be able to do that again? A lot to be sorted out. But as you guys learned last year in the playoffs, getting in is one thing, performing in the playoffs is another. Anything can happen. So that's what makes hockey such an exciting sport to watch.
Oh, boy, does it. I think it's still hard for us to talk about it down here as Bolts fans. But this season is going to be different. We're optimistic. You know, I was talking with my director actually before we started. We were talking about Patrick Kane just getting his 1,000th point there. Of course, you're probably a little biased still to the Blackhawks up north. But what's the broadcasting situation like for you? Do you miss the playing days, or are you liking your role now with NBC?
I love it. I'm happy to be a part of the NBC team. Still kind of learning on the fly how to do this television stuff. Got a lot of people that I'm learning from over at the network. I feel a little bit better every morning that I wake up, though. I'm not getting beat up on the ice. The body feels good. I just got to learn how to put a sentence together and make some good comments, and everything works out with NBC.
Patrick, I worry about that every day. I rarely put sentences together, and I'm still on air. You know what, though? In closing, I want to get back to Hockey Town. Of course, talking with a former player with a resume like yourself. If people aren't aware, how much does youth hockey, youth hockey coaches, these arenas, things that make up this program, that really can identify and define a young hockey player's life and their journey?
Yeah, big time. It's not even just about the sport of hockey. It's about taking those life lessons that you learn from the game, you learn from your coaches, your teammates and friends growing up. You take those lessons into other areas of your life. Perseverance, dedication, how to be a good teammate. These are all things that I learned from the sport of hockey. And I was a fortunate player that got to play 15 years in the National Hockey League and have some pretty cool moments as a pro, but it's those moments as a youth player going to the local rinks each and every night in the winter time and watching my brother play, playing myself. Those are the memories that I carry with me the most, and that's why I'm so excited to be here with Kraft and trying to find those passionate cities across the U.S.
And who knows, maybe it'll be in Florida this year. Thank you so much for joining us today, Patrick. We're out of time, but we hope to see you again soon, okay?
All right, thanks for having me.